Okay, I'm going to try to be as steady as I possibly can while I'm just holding the camera with my hand. Eventually I'll get a tripod set up and there won't be, as much shakiness. So hopefully I won't make you sick. But as we go into my craft space, the first thing you'll notice is that my craft table, my workstation, is in the very center of my room. And I wanted it that way so that everything just seems like it's an arm's reach or at most a step or two away from where I stand to do most of my crafting. And I do stand 90% of the time. I am at my desk to do some, things that have to be done there. And occasionally I sit down, but I find that I'm more productive and I think more creative when I'm just standing up. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what it seems like for me. So if I pan around real quickly here, there's my desk area over there, and we're going to look at that as well. And then I have a lot of storage along the walls. So there's like hardly an empty space because I take up as much vertical space as humanly possible in this room. So everything is, maxed out as best as I possibly could. So my craft table is modeled after a much more expensive Pottery Barn version. My husband built this one for me to the specifications that I wanted. So the length, the width, the height, kind of a little bit, more customized to what I needed. And it works out very well. It stores a lot of stuff. And I like, just having it to the way that I wanted it to be built. Now I have covered the top of it a couple of different times with different colors of it. I think it's called Better Than Paper, and it's a bulletin board material. It's a little plasticky. It's not supposed to cut or stain or rip or anything like that. I wish I'd had it when I was in my classroom because that would have been much better than that flimsy bulletin board paper, but that's a whole nother story. So I do have it covered. I just like it to look a little bit warmer than the stark white background when I'm filming. That's kind of the mood that I'm in now. I started off filming on a white background and kind of changed to that, and I also like that it kind of ties in with the warmer tones of the floor. And I love my rug, love it to pieces. Put a little fandelier in here as well. It actually has a ceiling fan that comes out when you turn it on so that you can stay cool down here in the south. So that's an overview of kind of just the main look of my workstation. So we'll go in now and kind of have a little bit closer look at what's actually stored there. Let's look at what's actually on top of my craft table. And I did not take down my filming lights, my umbrella lights, or my mount for my camera. I just left all that. It obviously would be more aesthetically pleasing to show this to you without it. And if I ever do a full room tour, which a couple people have asked for, and I probably will, I'll take it down so you can see what it looks like without them. But I film almost every day, so they're here, and they're attached to the workstation thanks to my husband, and so I'll show you that as well. So on my workstation, my craft table, we'll just kind of start and go left to right. So I have this new Big Shot Switch Plus from Sizzix. I recently replaced my Big Shot Express with that, and I just feel like I use it more if it's out on my workstation, so that's why I kind of shifted some things around and made space for that. And then we go to another little thing that my husband built for me. I actually used this when I used to teach online and I needed something a little bit higher up to be able to run my mouse with. And then I just transferred it in here when I was getting ready to actually have a craft room when I started scrapbooking in 2020. So I use it to the top level to hold my iPad, my roller date stamps that I use most often. I have my little small tonic trimmer as well as the lamp, and it's off right now because it puts a bad glare here. That's why the umbrella lights are better for filming. But I turn it on when I'm just filming without, or when I'm just crafting without the camera on, because it does provide a lot of light. And then down here, and you'll see there's lots of cords going back behind there, kind of clipped on in different places, so overlook those. I just have a little tray that holds my tiny attacher, a corner rounder, some extra foam strips. I have this that I use. I got this when I first started scrapbooking because I saw Hibba use it with her traveler's notebooks and things like that for when they get lumpy and bumpy. So I just keep it right there handy. These are the two ink pads that I use most often when I am doing my just regular stamping and date stamping. The Black Soot Distress ink and then the Premium Dye ink in black from scrapbook.com. So I leave them right there. Then, oops, sorry about that. I ended up not getting a tripod. I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to get in close. So I'm trying my best to still not shake you too much. This is kind of like a berry basket. It's a wooden version. I think I probably got it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but it holds all of my foam squares. And then I also have like some glue dots, but I don't typically use those. Then I have this little tray that has a couple smaller bowls in it, and they just hold some different labels. A lot of times I find kind of at the last minute, especially like with Project Live, I might need to grab a label or two, so I like to have some of those handy as well. And then if we keep going over, this is where my need to grab it quickly tools are. So I have this, it's actually a plant stand. I like using things in ways they weren't necessarily meant to be used. And I like things to be decorative when possible. So it holds my tweezers, it holds my awl, it holds my bone folder, my craft knife, my, you name it. Just all kind of stuff is in there. And then back there, and it's also another flower pot that came from probably Michael's, maybe Hobby Lobby. That one holds all of my different scissors. And yes, I have a pair of scissors for 100 different occasions. There's even a couple little scissors you can't see down in there, the little small precision ones. But all my scissors, and then I also keep two different rulers. I like these metal ones from Westcott. I think they're both from Westcott. One of them is from Fun Stamper's Journey. I have a smaller one that's also from Westcott. Sorry, I'm not holding this up very straight. So I like to keep my rulers here and also my T-ruler so that it's just very handy when I'm needing to grab those. Then this is my trash van. I use it just to put like the backing strips and the back of foam pads and little pieces that I cut off until I want to take it over and dump it out in my trash can. And then this is the little spinning tower thing from scrapbook.com. And again, these are like kind of the things I just need to reach for all the time. So it's got my different adhesive rollers. It's got my smaller stamp blocks. I have bigger ones stored somewhere else. It's got my liquid adhesives, my Xyron machine. It's got my little water bottle and foam daubers and glossy accents and powder tools and just all that different kind of stuff that, you know, the little odds and ends that you just need to be able to grab quickly. Also like the zig glue pens. It holds my distresser that I use very often, the sand eraser, my white eraser, some regular glue sticks, the Cocoina glue stick, which is wonderful, wonderful. Oops, sorry, I'm not very good at filming this way. Hopefully I'm not making you too dizzy yet. And then I also just always keep my trimmer here. I have another trimmer, but this is the one that I use all the time, so it just stays out on my desk. And then below there, and I'm not going to go into great detail about this stuff because I feel like some of this stuff may be coming up later in this organization series. So I'll just kind of briefly go over. But I do have a cart that has lots of different pen sets, as well as some journal cards in both sizes, and then some more embellishments that I don't use as often, but if I need them, I want them to be handy. On this side, I have alcohol markers, big brush pens, sequins, and little tiny wood veneer pieces stored in some of those scrapbook.com plastic pieces. Over here, I have both of my Studio Calico, the Mega Date stamp and the time stamp. And then I also have the new one from Heidi Swap, her Mega Date stamp that's in her handwriting. And that one just released not long ago. And then I have a couple of little tubs from IKEA. One of them holds all of my stuff for my Dymo label maker, as well as Brad's and Eyelet. So that, again, those are just kind of finishing touches that when I'm ready to use them, I want to be able to grab them quickly and not have to go searching. And this is just kind of more decorative. It's whenever I have little pieces of ribbon and things left over, I just put it in here. And I do, go in there sometimes when I think I just need a little scrap of something. So I just store it there in that jar. All right, over here on this side, I have some more plates and things to do with die cutting. And then I have my little bitty tiny die cutter. Just some randomness kind of stored in here. Then these are all of my embossing folders, so they're right here handy for my Big Shot, what is it called? Switch Plus. Then I have my laminator, which I use fairly often, and the laminating sheets that go with it. This is kind of a hodgepodge. It has some other tools and things in it, as well as the circle cutter from Creative Memories. This is some sewing and the lenses that go with my ugly sewing glasses that light up, but I need them desperately. And then my old Big Shot Express is down there because I need to find someone who needs one. So right now it's just sitting there. This is where I store my scrap paper. And I got this idea from Elisa, who is the Scrappy Wife. And so these pockets you can get from Amazon, and they're just divided out in rainbow order. If that's focusing, I hope so. And so you just can put different sizes of scraps in there. And then I also just keep this hanging here. It is some little decorative edge things from Kiwi Lane. This is really the only product I have from Kiwi Lane, I think, and it's stored in a totally Tiffany bag. And for lack of better place to put it, that's where it's at. And I use command hooks like crazy. They are all over this place. They come in handy. I can move them when I need to, so you'll see a lot of command hooks in here. And then I did want to show you that this is how my husband has fixed my umbrella light so that the triangle legs at the bottom don't fan out so much and trip me up. So he's screwed the pole into the desk and then used some kind of little plumbing attachment and notched out part of it and put the legs in there. So if you've got a tripod for filming in your craft space, and you are tired of tripping over the legs, there's a solution for you. All right, on this side, here's another command hook that holds all of my stencils. They're sort of divided out by size and category and manufacturer, kind of in a strange way that probably my brain is the only one that would understand. I need to get them a little more organized, but I like just having them hanging right here so that, again, they're very easily to get to. I don't have to worry about going to a binder or some kind of storage file to find them. And this side is a lot of randomness as well. So I've got a big stash of buttons, which I hardly ever use, but they're in a fridge bin. This is from scrapbook.com, and it is all of my Brandy Kincaid Extravagant Hope stuff. I break them up and put them into categories when they come in. This is like jewelry making stuff, all different kind of fittings and floral wire and the stretchy bands for bracelets and just all kind of stuff in there. This is where I keep my stickers that I use for like the BFF Sticker Club, pip sticks, all those different kind of things. Those are stored in there. This is some of the printables that I've done and collected over the years that I had left over. And then at the bottom, this is mostly Citrus Twist kits and Studio Calico embellishments that I have sorted out. There's my glue gun. And then some random pieces. I think that's a Tim Holtz set that I just couldn't figure out where else to put them. So they're there. And I will say I have this project to do. This is my swatch supplies. I have it all together, ready to finish up, and I haven't. So that is something that I need to work on pretty soon as well, because I do have a lot of ink. All right, I would consider my desk area another workstation. Since I do a lot of photo editing, I do work with a lot of digital products to do hybrid layouts. My computer is a big extension of my scrapbooking. And also there's quite a few other things that take place at my desk. So it's where my planner is. It's where I use my little happy light for, you know, when you have seasonal depression, get the blues, the winter blues, that kind of stuff. It's where I keep my little stand that I use when I am doing my stories with you on Instagram. Now I'm just knocking everything over. And I can't be anywhere, have any room without chapstick. So there's that. And then, you know, just some knickknacks, mementos, all of my Archer and Olive journals, as well as a couple other journals, things that I work with on a regular basis. There's my little dust and spray back there for my keyboard and things like that. I like to have different little mementos around in my area and not have everything just be, you know, so bland. Here's my stuff for when I'm hurting really bad while I'm scrapbooking, lotion, things like that. I always have a drink nearby, the remote to my fan and my light, tissues, rulers, pens, highlighters, a few little like mail bill items over there. And I also keep my microphone there for when I'm doing voiceovers, a ring light and a smaller ring light depending on what I'm doing. If I'm on a Zoom, if I'm on a virtual doctor's appointment, whatever, that's how it's all set up. I do use an external camera, so that's part of my workspace as well. And I have a gaming desk chair because I find it to be very comfortable, and it was pink and white and I couldn't resist. I had to have it. I thought I'd also mention my printing station, which is just right beside my computer desk. It's up on top of two of the little 2x2 units from Calyx units from IKEA. But I currently use 3 printers. The little top one is the Epson PictureMate PM400. Then the black one is the Canon printer that I've had for years that does all of my most of my printing, 95% of it. And then I have this laser printer for when I need to do something for my Mink. So I use all three of those. I'm currently in the market for a large format printer. I want to be able to print 12 by 12. The two that I've had my eye on the most, they stay out of stock a lot, and so I've had a hard time finding them, but I'm still looking. And then these are the papers, the like photo papers and label papers that I use the most, and so I just keep them here right up under the printers in this little tray unit from IKEA. I have all of my like cardstocks and regular papers stored somewhere else, but these are the photo papers and things like that that I use the most. And I also keep my sewing machine here. That way it stays plugged in and I can just sit down, grab it, do my stitching, put it back away. I work on manicures over here as well. There's my trash can in case you're wondering. And I thought I would show you this as well. I also keep sanitizer and some pepper spray. If you have PTSD, you keep pepper spray nearby. This is a little storage piece that I keep envelopes, the plastic scrapbook.com envelopes in, so that if I'm planning a story, whether I'm at my desk or my computer table, my craft table, I can grab those very quickly, very easily, and put my materials in there until I'm ready to work on them. Okay, I hope you found some inspiration, maybe some good ideas that you can put into place. If you have an idea or a suggestion from me or for me for anything that you saw in my space today, if you think there's a way that it could be improved, I would love to hear that as well. I'm always open to suggestions. My storage and my organization is always a work in progress. I'm always changing things up. So I would love to hear from you if you have any ideas for me. So I appreciate Karen setting up this YouTube hop. I think it's going to be very fun to do this once a month. And I appreciate you stopping by and spending some time with me today so very much. Hopefully I didn't make you sick with my camera skills. And if you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and please consider hitting that subscribe button if you have not already. I would love to have you as part of my little YouTube family who is just steadily growing, and it makes me so very happy. I will also have linked my Instagram account below, as well as a lot of products that I just use on a regular basis. If there's anything I can think of, there may be a few things from scrapbook.com that I showed you that I could link, maybe some of those fridge bins and things like that. If you're wondering where those came from, they're probably an Amazon link down below. So if you have any other questions though about anything you saw, please don't hesitate to ask. So until I see you in the next video, take care of yourself, do something good for yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.